and welcome to E10 Extra, your weekly preview show giving you a fix of all things Orient. This week we're going to be taking an in-depth look at the Colchester side that the O's will be facing this weekend. We'll also be chatting to Ling and getting his thoughts after what was a very busy January transfer window.
So the be all and end all is that we have got 20 players that are either going to be kept or let go. Simple.
We're also going to be catching up with Kemp and getting his thoughts ahead of Saturday's game.
Yeah, no, it was a tough game to play, and obviously we're going down to 10 men early on, but we come away with a point, and I thought we thoroughly deserved it. It was a battling performance. Everyone worked so hard for the team, and we deserved a point minimum.
But first, let's take a closer look at Tuesday night's game in that 0-0 draw to Crawley Town.
Crawley lost for the first time in 10 at the weekend at leaders Cambridge United. Leyton Orient are just above their hosts in the table, but have lost their last two. Crawley would leapfrog the O's in the table with a win, and only Jordan Maguire-Drew is unable to play for Crawley because he's playing against his parent club. Ashley Nathan therefore comes in. Adam Thompson makes his O's debut in defence, with Ling and Nick Freeman also coming in to the starting 11.
Come on, boys!
That was late. Cipriano on Hess and Tyler. And the reaction of the Crawley Town players. So much the referee gets out the red card. And Leyton Orient, who have been the better side up until now, are now down to 10 men.
Go on, Tris! Goes in! What ball? Get me! Go on, Georgie! Freeze the ball! Georgie's toe, right in front, come on! Yes,
Well, that was a well-fought point from the 10-man Orient side and some very impressive debut performances on display. And with that in mind, let's catch up with Director of Football Martin Ling and get his thoughts after the January transfer window and discuss some contract negotiations as well. Let's go. Cheers for joining us, Martin. First of all, the January transfer window slammed shut on Monday evening. Was it a positive one for yourself on the whole?
Yeah, I feel so. We set out to. It was at the start. It was to fetch 3 players in. If I'm totally honest, the remit changed on that when Ling was injured last week, so we ended up getting 4. Yeah, but yeah, people going out. Some people going out, and 4 new ones coming in. Now, when you sign players in the January market, or any time you sign players, you want them to improve and help the squad. So I think the 4 that have come in will improve us and will help us. And I think if anyone that was at the game at Crawley last night, it would look at it, or wouldn't be at the game, would they? Obviously, only us was at the game, but people who watched the game at Crawley last night would have seen that, all 4 of the players that we brought in that was on show last night certainly got good potential for us to move forward with.
Absolutely. And do you feel as though January is an important time to do business in football? You look at the signings from last year with Danny Johnson and Vigor and Cisse, and now the 4 this season. Do you see it as an important time of this?
I think any windows is important. I mean, a lot of time you hear the big clubs talking about that January is not a good window to work in. But if you need to fetch players in to improve you, then I think every window's the same. And obviously, with the summer window, you get a longer period to think about it. And it ain't all rushed like people would say within January. But for us as a club, we're never rushed. We're ongoing with our recruitment. We're ongoing with our scouting. So we've always got a nucleus of names that we've looked at over the period. So we're always ready to go when a position comes available, or we feel that there's a weakness within a position. We can always go out and improve ourselves. So I think we do the groundwork, and if the groundwork's done, but January is, obviously last January was a very good window for us, and if this one could be half as good as the last period, then we'll be very happy people.
Fantastic. Well, that's everything in regards to into the signings in January. But we still feel as though there's a lot of business to be done between now and the end of the season. A fair few players out of contract. Can you give any updates on any of the situations there?
Yeah, we've got. Well, we had 20. I think it's a bit less now that are out of contract. We've only got 6 players that have got a contract for next season in the squad. There's only 6. So the be all and end all is that we have got 20 players that are either going to be kept or let go. Simple. But there is players that we're in talks with as we speak. There's some difficulty within it in terms of the new rules, in terms of the wage capping. And the wage capping rules are if you sign players on, again, during the season, before their contract is finished, it goes against you. And it's going to prove some sort of difficulty, so we won't be able to get as many through as we want right now. But like anything, we will... It's as simple as this. There's green players, there's orange players, and there's red players. Now, we do the green list, the orange list and the red list, and we do it independently, like myself, Ross, the board, the other staff. But the be all and end all is sometimes that a player that's on a green list sitting here today, when next time we talk about going to the orange list, but we know who the green ones are, and they know the ones we'd like to get tied up, and I ain't got to name names because I wouldn't do that. But I think people who are clever and people that understand know that we try never to let good players go from here. So you can imagine the green players. The orange players are still where the undecided are. They going to do well enough between now and the end of the season to become a green player, or are they going to have a bit of a bad time where they can be a red player? And we've got players that are in the red zone who I feel that if the National League continues, which I hope it does, the loan market is still open to them to come and approach us about some of our players. As I feel some of our players need some football, and they need to be doing some football for their career.
Fantastic stuff there from Martin, and we will be releasing a further extended version of that interview, which will go a little bit more in depth about contract negotiations and the like. So keep your eyes peeled on the YouTube channel for that one. But now we've got one of the latest signings, Dan Kemp, waiting for us in the boot room. Let's go and have a chat with him.
Kemp, thanks for joining us. First couple of weeks at Leyton Orient, how have you settled in?
Yeah, no, I've really settled in good. The boys and all the staff have made me feel really welcome, and I'm really enjoying it.
And obviously last night at a point on the road, a battling performance. How did you find it?
Yeah, no, it was a tough game to play, and obviously we're going down to 10 men early on, but we come away with a point, and I thought we thoroughly deserved it. It was a battling performance. Everyone worked so hard for the team, and we deserved a point minimum.
And a different kind of performance, I guess, as a winger. You obviously maybe thinking a bit more on the front foot to begin with, and then almost more of a defensive winger once you get down to 10. Yeah, no, I started off playing on the left wing, and we were getting joy out there. Switching the play, working the 2v1, getting my man, getting crosses in. But then that's football, that's the way the game can switch. And then it was down to me to play a different side of my game, more tucked in as a number 8, which I feel comfortable doing as well. So no, it was a different side to my game, but I hope it was good to show a different side, and I was pleased that we got the point. And a point like that can make all the difference coming into the season.
100%. We said in recent weeks and within the season we haven't drawn enough games away from home when we're up against it or we're not performing as well. It's about getting points. That's what matters, and it comes down to when it comes down to the end of the season. If you're picking up the odd point here or there rather than losing, you're going to stay in and around it, and that's what we want to do.
And how have the first games been from you from a personal perspective? Obviously, first one was off the bench, a couple of starts now. You feeling you're slotting in a bit?
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like yesterday I was able, even though the start of the game changed quickly, I was starting to show what I can do going forward as well, which is something I want to show, like getting on the ball in the half turn, playing some passes, getting at my man 1v1. I was starting to show that, so that was good, and it hasn't really worked out like that in the games. Obviously, we had another red card when I came on the other week, so I think that was a different type of game. And then Bolton, we didn't really play as well as we'd liked. So no, but it's good. I've settled in well, and I'm enjoying being out there, and I feel like I'm only going to show more, which is good.
Absolutely. And last night we saw pretty much all 4 January signings getting considerable game time. Obviously Tristan coming off the bench in the first half. I mean, there's not been a great deal of training together, but how do you feel like everyone linked up?
No, I feel like we've done well. It's obviously we've had to get to know each other quick, as I have with all the other boys, but with the games coming quick and fast, you have to get ready to build relationships as quick as possible, and that's what we feel like we're doing. I feel like the players that we brought in are intelligent players anyway, so it's quite easy to understand the style of play, and the manager and all the staff have made that helped us out so much with regards to the way we want to play. So no, it's just about adapting as quick as possible, really. Yeah,
and obviously last night a great point to build on, and this Saturday it's Colchester. Fantastic opportunity to get 3 points and get ourselves back on.
100%. That's what we've been emphasising. There's no point picking up good points, but then if we don't back it up on Saturday, it's almost not worthless, but it's disappointing. We want to be up there, so we have to build on that and get a big 3 points on Saturday. That's what we want.
This Saturday, it's Colchester United who make the short trip across to East London as the O's look to avenge the defeat earlier in the season. Orient will be paying close attention to forward Giovanni Brown, who netted twice in the defeat at the JobServe Community Stadium. Despite being on a hot run of form at the time, Brown hasn't managed to find the back of the net since this game, something he'll be looking to change. Brown, however, still tops the scoring charts for Colchester with 7 goals, a relatively low tally and a sign of a bigger issue. Colchester have managed just 28 goals so far this term, compared to Orient's 34. However, the O's haven't scored now in 3 games. 43% of Colchester's attacks come down the left-hand side, making them the team most likely to use the left flank. With that in mind, Callum Harriott will be busy on the left of the attack. He's scored 5 goals so far this season, and the former Charlton and Reading forward would love to add to that. The U's have opted to pull in reinforcements, however, with former player Frank Newell returning on loan from Plymouth Argyle. He was part of Colchester's playoff campaign last season and netted 5 times in 46 appearances. Defensively, Colchester's area of weakness is set pieces, with 13 of their 34 goals conceded in this manner. After a midweek draw for 10-man Orient, Ross Embleton's side will be looking to pick up a home win against Colchester, something that has only been managed once in the last 6 attempts. Right, that's all we've got time for this week, but don't forget, if you haven't done so already, you can still join Leyton Orient's FPL League, and there are chances to win prizes every single week. This week, it's Sam Phillips and Jamie Wellams who are the winners, and you will both be receiving a copy of Football Manager, so email l.lambourne@leytonorient.net to claim them, and join with the code that's on screen now if you haven't done so. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you purchase your match passes for this weekend's game against Colchester United at the Breyer Group Stadium. Just simply head over to the Leyton Orient website to get them in nice and early, and we'll see you there. Up the O's.